So next I got Just As I Am by Elin Harris. Y'all know who Elin Harris is. Okay, girl, you already know who he is. Okay, child, so we're not gonna get into too much about this. But anyway, this is the second book in his I Am trilogy. I got a very good copy here. I actually found this at the Salvation Army for 25 cents, and I was like, this is a really good copy. Now, of course, I was gonna pass it up, but at the same time, I was like, you know, some girl probably picked this book up and thought that she was gonna get some tea, and instead came away surprised and startled in her spirit. But I did read the first book, which is Invisible Life, back maybe it's about really is probably about 10 years ago. So this is very low class of me to have finally picked up the second book in that trilogy. Girl, you know how I am. I'm all over the place, but I am excited to read this book. So Elin Harris's Just As I Am. Next, I got these two books that's a part of a series. The first one is Dead Stick. The second one is Red Line. This is a mystery series also about an aviator named Taylor Morgan. She's a woman who is an aviator who solves mysteries. But the draw, besides the fact that I love these kind of books anyway, as we all know, the draw to me was that it takes place, not besides her profession, it takes place in Alaska. So it kind of reminds me of Dana Stabenoff books that also takes place in Alaska as well. So we're gonna see what we're gonna get up with. I seen Nevada Bar mentioned in one of the blurbs here, and I was like, we are good to go. Aviator mission, here we go. All right, next I got this book that I'm really excited to read. I'm excited to read all my books because I don't pick them out just for no reason. I pick them out because I want to read them. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm not trying to keep up with nobody. All right, we need to make that clear. But I'm excited to read this book because one, I've never read anything by her, and two, I absolutely love this subject matter that's going to be taking place within this book, and that is Anne Rice's The Feast of All Saints. Look at her, this girl, I don't know, this is her 70s, her portrait from the 70s. But anyway, this is a very good copy here. So, like I said, I've never read an Anne Rice book before. I've read two or three of her son's novels, but I've always wanted to read The Feast of All Saints because it is historical fiction and it takes place in New Orleans. But you know, the subject matter as it is, it, you know, like I said, it takes place in, you know, I think I want to say like the French Quarter, and you know, we're looking at, oh my goodness, we're looking at the subject matter of voodoo, girl, I don't know, bloodletting, you know, family history, heritage, lineage, just a number of different things that is going to be taking place within this book that I'm very excited to get. You know what, this was $2. Oh my god, I thought I told that lady it was $1. Oh my goodness, we messed up somewhere. But anyway, yeah. So I do have a book. I do have The Feast of All Saints by Anne Rice, and this would be my first Anne Rice book, and I'm really excited to read that, to get into that whole subject matter because I love it. You know, there's an author named Jewel Parker Rose. She's a black author who does the same thing. I do suggest, and I don't like making recommendations, but she doesn't get spoken about a lot as it concerns this subject. So if you ever look up Jewel Parker Rose, then I would kind of recommend reading one of her books as well. It's a good combination. She does a good combination of writing about that subject matter blended with mystery. So that being said, we're going to move on. Now, the next author, I promised myself 2 years ago that I was not going to pick up nothing else by her. Nothing, child. Nothing else. After I read this author's book, which is called Amy Come Home, you guys can do the research and see when I talked about the book or one of my blog posts on the book. I said I was not going to read this author anymore because I could not stand that book. And I made it very much clear within that video and that blog post. However, I am so attracted to just, you know, I just have this compulsiveness about me that just does not, there's no explanation about it. I can hate something and I can love it at the same time. I can hate something and I can still keep trying. But with that being said, I was tired of going into this particular bookstore and looking at these books, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to buy them today for $1 a piece. But that is Barbara Michaels, The Dancing Floor, and Barbara Michaels' House of Stone. As some of you guys may or may not know, Barbara Michaels is the alternative or a pen name for the, I can't remember which came first, but her pen name other than Barbara Michaels is Elizabeth Peters. As you guys know, I'm obsessed with Elizabeth Peters, especially her Jacqueline Kirby series, but she writes the Vicki Bliss and she writes the Amelia Peabody Egyptian mystery series, and then she has some standalones as well. So I'm already familiar with Elizabeth Peters as is, but for whatever reason, that one Barbara Michaels book that she wrote I could not get into. But as it stands, Elizabeth Peters is very good to me at storytelling. Not many authors I feel like can combine mystery with humor. I mean, the way she writes wit is just off the chain to me. Like, you just have to really get into her books to understand how witty she is when it comes to her characters. But as I said, she does write great stories, and they're kind of sometimes, as it concerns Barbara Michaels, they got like a gothic or paranormal twist to them. You know, they're full of intrigue. You know, there's always this female protagonist who's trying to unravel, you know, what's going on in the castle, what's going on in the corn maze, if you will. So when I was picking up the Anne Rice book, I was just like, you know, I want a little bit more flavor, sort of aligned with Anne Rice as it concerns a gothic tale that blends gothicness, a little bit of the occult, maybe some mystery, and then of course humor. And that is why I decided that I was going to try to pick up some more Barbara Michaels books. And I'm going to let you know, girl, if these books don't work out, I'll be the first to let you know, because, you know, child, I just torture myself with this stuff sometimes. And the last two books are actually one, and that is Catwalk by Karen Kijewski. But yeah, Catwalk. This is a cat. The protagonist's name is a Cat Colorado mystery. Yeah, I have two of these books, two different prints of this book. I bought this one a long time ago, and then I went to the Salvation Army bookstore and ended up picking up this one. I don't know how I got confused, you know, it just is what it is. This happens sometimes. I've never actually done that before, but yeah, I bought two of the same books. But anyway, Cat Colorado is a protagonist. You know, they're PI mysteries, whodunits, who resides in California as it is, and I'm not really sure where the cat thing kind of ties into. At first I was like, is she like Catwoman or something? But really, I don't think it's nothing like that. But anyway, she's a 30-something California PI with nerves of steel and passion for tipping the scales of justice in the right direction. I'm always looking out for these books. I'm always searching for some new series to read as it regards, you know, the whodunits and the PI and the female protagonist. So that was one that ended up falling into my lap, but double time. But yes, that's going to be all, guys. I enjoyed you staying here with me. Thank you so much for coming aboard. Go ahead and just, you know, leave a comment if you have something that you want to ask, or, you know, you just want to say hi. You know, do what you do, shawty. This is your time. But anyway, I'm going to go. Peace.